Hello YouTube, Tim with Outdoor Trail Hikers. Going to make a short little video about changing oil on the Nissan Titan. Use Mobile One products. I've already taken a few shots of that using this new Note 10 Plus. I'm going to kind of throw that in with the review. Okay, I'm using the Gimbal Smooth Q app, and I'm using the front facing camera, and I think for 4K you'll only do 30 frames per second with the app. You have to use the camera settings to get it to film in 4K 60 frames per second, but 30 frames per second will be fine for what I'm doing, you know, with this oil change. And I'm just playing around with the settings. I have it on tracking mode, and as you can see, I'm trying to keep the camera still, but I'm moving around and the camera's following my head, so it works pretty good. But I know y'all don't want to look at my pretty face all day, so let's turn this camera around and start getting on with the oil change for the mighty Nissan Titan. I've already popped the latch for the hood. Let's see if I can raise this up with one hand. And of course, I've already showed y'all the engine compartment in this thing before. I like to keep it as clean as I can. Right here is our oil fill stick. Back there is your transmission to check your fluids. Everything looks good under here. I do think before long I'll replace my serpentine belt, and I just put this battery in here. Okay, I've already gotten all my tools out. It uses a 10mm to get underneath here. And remove those bolts because I had to drop this skid plate. Okay, so we had to take our 10mm socket, and we have to loosen all these bolts. One there. There's one on the driver's side, right behind the bumper. And there's two right here. Now you don't have to take these two out all the way, you just got to loosen them because it'll slide out. And the same with this one over here. Now don't mistake, and this is for this pan, and I don't ever pull it, so you don't use it, but you'll pull this one out. Actually, you're just loosening it up because that hole in this pan or skid plate is slotted. So once you get the front out, you just slide these out. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those, and I'll get back with you. And right there is your oil pan with your bolt that you pull out to drain oil. And it looks like I need to get a wrench, and we'll get that draining. Okay, you use a 9/16 to remove your oil pan drain bolt, which I'm fixing to do now. So that's where it goes. We're going to take that off. Okay, I've got that loosened. So we're going to go ahead and remove that. We're going to try to do it without getting any oil on this expensive phone. And here we go. Okay, now it's time to take the filter off. And you know, there's plenty of room. You got a line here that's kind of in the way, and you know, you got to work around your radiator hose. So I use this type of oil filter, and I bend the handle to where I can get it in there. And then you kind of gotta, you know, work it with two hands, and I just keep working it until I get it loose, you know, just like that. But it's no big deal, but I can't do it and hold the camera, so catch up with you in a minute. I also wanted to mention, when I remove the oil filter, as you can see, the oil in the back is pretty much done dripping, but I'm just going to leave that pan underneath there to catch every little bit of drip that's coming out. And I've got another little pan that I use just underneath the oil filter, underneath that spout right there, to catch whatever might come out of the oil filter, and then I'll put the oil filter down in here and let it drain. As soon as you get it broke loose, oil starts draining out of it. Goes down in that little lip, or goes down in that little metal spout, and then it does get on the truck and run down into the pan, because you're going to lose oil right there. No way around it. And then you get a mess to clean up when it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and finish spinning that off and get the new one ready. So you can see the oil's just about ran out of that. I'll let it finish dripping, and then I'll clean that up with a paper towel before I put the new one on. Now we're gonna come up into the engine bay, and I'm gonna grab my paper towels, and I'm gonna wipe this lid off a little bit. Now that thing's tight. Open it up. Put my paper towel right there. Now we'll just go ahead and take that off and rest it right there in that paper towel, and just let that drain out. Clean off this plug a little bit. I'm going to go back here and wipe off this oil pan. Some people will pour a little clean in there and finish pushing out whatever's dirty. My oil isn't really ever all that dirty. It looks dirtier than what it really is. And we'll put that back up in there. And we don't have to over tighten it, but you want it tight enough it's going to seal. Yeah, let's see, I'm going to go about right there and pull this up so we can get it from the truck, but we still have to put the oil filter on. Alright, I've got my Mobil 1 filter. And I'm going to go ahead and pull my oil pan out. I'm just going to drop that there, but I'm going to get this out of the way. So just bear with me a second. Now what I do is I go ahead and I get a little bit of oil. Some people will take their used oil and put on the seal. But I have to put, or I don't have to, but I always put just a little bit of oil in the filter before I install the filter. You can't fill it all the way up because it's at an angle and it'll drip out. So I just pour a little bit in here. Like I said, I didn't fill it all the way up. It's, I'm gonna say halfway full. And then there was some, when I did that, there's some oil right here. And I just take that oil and put it around my gasket. And then I'll climb up underneath and screw it up just the opposite of the way I took it out. I've already cleaned that up, but I'm going to clean it up one more time. Just put this up there. Screw it clockwise. Train going by here. Okay, the oil filter and the oil plug is installed. So we're to the point that we put the oil in. And just so y'all know, that's in 4K 60 frames per second. Now I normally have a funnel that I use. And I'm going to start with the, this takes about 5.5 quarts. So I'm going to put some of this single quart in there. I highly recommend the funnel here. And I've got one in the back of the truck in the toolbox. And I probably should climb up in there and get it. But it is a pain to do. So we're just going to try to be careful. Pour this in there. Not going to pour all this one in there yet. About that much. Probably about half of it. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this 5 quarts. I don't know why these lids can't be made to where they come off easier. Just about got to rip them suckers off. Break the seal. Pull that plastic off the container. You don't have to get it all off, but I try to get most of the bottom where it's pouring out off. Don't want nothing going down that hose, ain't supposed to. And I'm going to try to maneuver this. Like I said, I highly recommend a funnel. I'm going to go ahead and pour all 5 quarts of this in. So far, not made too much of a mess. And don't be lazy, guys, like I'm being. Get you a funnel. Good to the last drop. That's 5.5 quarts. I saved my empty containers to put my used motor oil so I can take it and get recycle place. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this cap off a little bit and screw it back on. That one it clicks like your gas cap. So the oil's in. The only thing left to do is put the, here, let me grab this camera. Okay, after I put the lid back on, I put 5.5 quarts of oil in there. The only thing left to do is to put my skid plate back on. And before I do that, I come underneath here and I just visually inspect and make sure, you know, nothing's leaking. I look back there, make sure nothing's dripping around the drain plug, and we're all good. I've already slid this pan underneath here, and you just put it up there in reverse of the way you took it down. You take it and put the front in first. Lift the front up above your bumper line right there, and then I'm just going to shove the front in and line up the back with the bolts and then put it back up in there. Okay guys, I cranked the truck up. I've already got the skid plate back on. Letting it flow the oil through. Looking underneath here for any kind of leaks. Everything looks good. I'll turn the truck off. We'll let it sit for a while, and then I'll come back later and I'll recheck the oil on the dipstick, and it should be at perfect level as it is right now, but I'll double check. And that's the oil change for the Nissan Titan.